feel like it's been a while since we've been in the shop. We had the drift event with the Miata. We had drifting with Cletus. Been doing a bunch of driving. It's time to get back to work and get back to work on the Subaru. I say back to work because, well, I guess we worked on it before, but anyway, we started working on this engine like, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. The goal was to get everything done that day, timing belt, gasket, seals, etc. Get it completely ready to go back in the car and be done with it. However, we ran into some complications. As you can see, it is unfinished. I mean, it was long enough ago for us to get some cobwebs on the old girl. So we're gonna flash back real quick to the beginning of this project. So we've got gaskets, timing stuff, all that stuff. So we're going to be basically refreshing the WRX engine for the GC. So need to get this thing on the stand. I'm gonna go ahead and get the Miata on the lift, get this thing on the stand, and then we'll get to work. We're just gonna dive into this. I'm pretty inexperienced with this. When I say pretty inexperienced, I mean completely inexperienced. Never worked on a Boxer engine, never worked on a Subaru engine, ever. So completely new to this. But basically what we're gonna do, we've got a new water pump, new full timing belt kit, tensioners and everything. Apparently the tensioners go out and the rollers go out. So new that. We got new exhaust gaskets. Let's put these together. Water pump gasket, we got cam seals, we got rear main seal, front main seal, valve cover gaskets. Got injector O-rings for our STI injectors, so that's really good. We've got a new Mishimoto intake, because I don't even know what this one is. I want to try to clean up some of this plumbing. There's a lot of like vacuum stuff going on in here that I don't think really needs to be here. So I'm gonna try to cap some of this stuff off. Or wait, does that, I don't know. I need to look at this before I try to tell you guys what I'm doing. Let's start stripping her down and see what we're working with. Well, it's definitely a good thing I decided to replace the timing belt. Take a look at that. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. It is like, it's like something ate into it, which obviously we need to figure out before we put the new one on. I'm not sure what it could be. To me, it looks like this. This was really tight, and it's like you can kind of adjust it up or down, and it looks like it was just sitting on there, and you could see what looks like belt rubber all around this area. So I think that thing was shredding it. So I just loosened it and moved it up just to see if you could, and you can. So now I need to do what I rarely do and look up how to time this. Definitely gonna be strange. Definitely gonna be strange. It's the first like quad cam engine I've ever done. So need to research, figure out where all the timing marks line it up at top dead center, pull it off, put the new belt on, new rollers, all that stuff. Research break, and we'll get back to it. But I'm definitely glad, because I almost didn't do this, because I was like, oh, it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. And then I was like, nah, I should dig in and at least replace that timing belt. And yeah, definitely a good thing. So this being tight was clearly the cause of our belt issue. You can see how scored it is. So whoever did this timing belt put this way too tight. I guess you can space it out with a zip tie, or I got a Gates timing kit, and I was talking to the guys at MV Auto, and they were like, it comes with a spacer, so you can space it out properly. But I watched the Speed Academy video where they went MV Autos in Canada, and I know a couple of the people from there. Saw the video, very good video. Very good, comprehensive video on how to do this. So I'm pretty sure I've got a full understanding of what needs to be done. So yeah, we got our marks lined up so we can go ahead and take the belt off and then start replacing stuff. We got everything off, including the water pump. We've got the water pump gasket surface mostly cleaned off. We'll need to clean it just a little bit more. Something interesting, kind of makes these easy. Even though it is quad cam, each cam is only controlling 2 cylinders. So there's a ton of room where the cam isn't doing anything. It's just Like the lobes, none of the, whereas like if you had this cam with this cam, boop, like this, there's pretty much always a point where there's tension. You'll have slight spots in between, maybe like this much rotation, but pretty much the whole length of the cam, if you get off these lobes, you're getting onto other lobes. So since it's only 2 cylinders, it's actually really not that bad. So just an interesting observation as far as doing a timing belt on one of these. So yeah, we need to throw the water pump back in and just kind of reverse the process to get the belt back on. Okay, well, we had a bout of bad luck. I was tightening the tensioner bolt in, and you can see the threads right here. I went to torque it down. It was at maybe 7 foot-pounds. Started torquing it, and it just did the whole tight, little tighter, break loose thing, and just straight up pulled the threads completely out. So I hit up the guys in NV Auto, because they obviously work on a lot of these. They said it does happen. They have seen it. Fortunately, this is where it goes. You can buy this whole bracket for 30 bucks. So I just ordered another one of these. So I'm just going to replace the bracket instead of helicoiling it or doing something kind of jank to get by. We're just going to order the bracket. It should be here in a couple days, and then we will pick this back up. Okay, so now that you guys are up to speed, we have our replacement parts in. So I ordered a new plate. Also, there's a really nice guy named Christopher on the GC8 forums. He sent me this, which is goes on my steering column to like basically take up the space where it goes to the firewall so it doesn't move around. This correct steering joint, a handful of things, but he also sent me one of these in case this one didn't come in time. So if we strip it again, we have yet another one. So huge thanks to Christopher. Really, really nice guy. Super helpful. Gave me a lot of information and answered like all my questions in regards to the car and things I was doing and all that stuff. So really appreciative. Been very helpful. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna get back to work. It's been long enough now. I'm gonna need to rewatch the video on how to do the timing belt. Because I basically had it together and I was torquing down the tensioner bolt when it stripped. So I was all the way there, and now we're back. Not quite to square one, but we gotta reset it up, so let's get to it. All right, the timing belt is done. I was gonna time lapse it, but then I realized I already time lapsed it, and we got to the last part, which was torquing this tensioner down, and it stripped, so I figured there's no point. But yeah, didn't strip this time, still felt sketchy. Like it was still like, felt like it wanted to, but we got it to the proper torque spec, everything else to the proper torque spec, everything else is lined up. It's kind of hard because they're all like, no matter what you do, they all end up like a tiny bit off, and it depends on where you look at it, but from what I understand, we are good to go. So next step is going to be, I guess, putting the covers and stuff back on, valve covers with new gaskets, all that stuff. We've got a new intake hose, we've got a diverter valve, so we got to route all this because that was deleted before for atmospheric blow off, so we still got a lot to do. I want to be, basically the engine to be drop-in ready. I don't want to have to put the induction hose on in the car or anything like that. I want to be just able to just drop this thing in the car. So yeah, I guess let's do the timing covers and stuff, get that all sorted out, and then we'll move on to gaskets, I guess.
Ain't got me tripping all over my shoes. Yeah, I'm falling for you. Ain't nobody like you. Yeah, you got me tripping all over my shoes. Yeah, I'm falling for you. Ain't nobody like you.
All right, we got valve cover number 1 on. I need to let the RTV, well, this is Honda Bond, but let it fully tack up before I flip it over, because otherwise it's gonna get a bunch of oil in it. And if it's not dry yet, it might permeate through and then we'll have leaks. So I'm gonna leave it like this. Gives me an excuse to go cruise the Miata. So when I was coming back from drifting with Cletus, there's this gas station kind of in the middle of nowhere on my way back from Tampa, and it's like a really nice drive from there to here. And I've always wanted to stop there, but it always seemed like they were closed, but it's like super hometown gas station. So I finally stopped there just to see if they were even open. And they have like a gas station cat, and they've got like all this cool local stuff and a deli. But I was kind of in a rush to get home, so I figured it's a nice day, super nice day out. I want to take the Miata for a drive. It's hard like to build a car like this, and then it's a dedicated drift car. You use it once, twice, max like 4 times a month. And it's like, it's your baby. I mean, that's why we're building this, to have like a everyday fun car, but I don't know. I like to get more use out of it than just drifting. So I try to find excuses to go drive it. So we're gonna cruise it down to the gas station. I think I need to realign the rear. I need to realign the whole car. When I had caster in the front and pull some tow out of the rear, or pull some camber out of the rear, we gotta align it for the next event basically, but she's a cruiser. She cruises good. It's so nice. It's such a nice day. It's just like just cruising my LS Miata to the gas station. It's 20 minutes away. Made it home in the Miata. It was a nice drive. Got the other valve cover on. So we're gonna let this thing sit and tack up a little bit, and then we'll flip the motor back straight and continue on with everything else we gotta do. All right, so I am trying to decide not only where I'm gonna mount my catch can, but which one to run. So I have this one, which is kind of one of their newer ones, this carbon fiber one. These are sick. What I'm trying to figure out is which one I wanna run. I'd rather run this one, because I've already got it set up teed for 2 different valve covers. I've already got the hoses and whatever, because it's 1 in, 1 out. But it's a little too big, so I think I'm gonna run this guy, because I can fit it. I wanna fit it like on the engine itself. I wanna mount it like somewhere either here or here. I haven't decided exactly where yet. Probably here, this kind of makes more sense. Somewhere in that range, make a bracket off the intake. Once I decide on that, we can start making that. But I mean, the motor is most of the way together. I mean, we've got the accessories on, the timing belt covers, timing belt's done, gaskets are done. Even got the coolant expansion tank on. I mean, we're pretty much ready to go. I want to put the intercooler on because I got a sweet cob part for it that I want to put on because it's going to be sweet. But it's kind of pointless because I'm gonna have to take it back off to get the motor in the car, so might as well wait. Also need to run the parts store. I need to get some BKR7Es. It's got 6s in it now. Oh, actually, I don't know what it has in it now. Probably 6s. We're gonna turn the boost up a little bit. We got a bigger turbo, injectors, all that stuff. So we are probably, I need to change the injectors. On the list. We're gonna do that too. I'm glad I just thought of that. But yeah, so because of all that, we need a colder plug. So I need to go get plugs. So I want to put the plugs in and put the coil packs back on before I forget. And then I put the motor in the car, and then I got to fish coil packs up there because I forgot to put them on. So I'll probably take the Miata to do that. I don't know. I'm trying to decide if I want to make the bracket first or go do that first. I don't know. I'm going to do one of the two. All right, it's decided. Parts store run, and then we get back to work. So we don't have to start working, stop working kind of thing. Have I mentioned that I love this car? Have I told you guys yet that I love this car? I can't wait to drift it again. Comment below if I should bring it to Cletus and Cars and try to enter the burnout contest. Let me know what you think. All right, got our plugs, got our serpentine belt. Gonna throw both of these on now before I forget. Get the coil packs back in, and then we'll make our bracketry making. Woo! Okay, back to twerk. So something a lot of you might not know, but older engines, older turbo engines especially, I mean, it may be different for Subaru engines, I don't know, but I know with like SRs, RBs, LSs, a lot of stuff like that, you do not want to run an iridium plug. One, they're $10 each instead of $2 each. Two, a lot of times they just don't work as well. Like especially on like an SR or something, a copper plug works way better. You can change them more frequently because they're $2 each. You can actually gap them. You're not stuck with the preset gap. I know you can gap these iridium plugs, but anyway, just something you might not know. I just thought about when I had this RB car and I posted a picture like, oh, I gotta spend the money. You got iridium spark plug, $60 later. And everyone was like, Taylor, you want to run coppers. They run way better on coppers. And the car ran like crap, switched to coppers. They were right. So anyway, just a tidbit in case you didn't know. So we got the belts on, got the plugs in. I need to throw the coil packs on, and then we are gonna make our bracket. That's the fun part, making the bracket. Seen Sandy, but have you seen Tuck? Tuck's a bit of a scaredy cat, as you can see by how nervous he is right now. He doesn't really like to go outside. If he hears any noises, he freaks out. But he is cute. Tuck! What are you doing, dude? Alright, that's it, folks. Aside from needing to find my fittings for this and getting some 1/2-inch hose to run the 2 lines to it, the motor's ready to go in. The last thing we need to do that we can't do until we take it off the stand is the clutch. We're waiting on the clutch to show up. But once that gets here, I mean, we throw the clutch on, the motor's ready to go in the car. We get it in the car. We can, assemble the intercooler, the radiator, the fans, and all that stuff. Get the whole bay back together. Hopefully sometime between now and then, we will get the rear wiring harness. We did end up having the wrong rear harness going back, so we don't have like back door plugs and stuff. So we need to fix that and get that rear harness in. Then we can get the interior back in, and then we need to swap the fuel pump. We got a few more things to do chassis wise. Engine wise, we're just waiting on a clutch and it can go back in. So we're making steady progress. I'm excited. Hopefully we can get the engine in a few days, and hopefully we can get the chassis stuff done similar time frame, and then we'll be ready to rip this thing for the first time. So I'm hyped. Are you guys hyped? I'm hyped. I'm pretty hyped. With that, I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Goodbye.